G'day folks, welcome back to the channel for part 6 of our Trozan Skyshard Spellbreaker. Where in between episodes I went and I cleared out that cave one more time and I found this. Now decaying and of alacrity are basically worthless to us, but have a look at those bonuses on this weapon. Plus 2 to Electra's Flash Freeze, very nice. Plus 3 to Frozen Core, which is this skill right here. So that's going to add a bunch of Frostburn damage over time, as well as percent cold damage to Trozan Skyshard. Then we get an extra second of Electra's Flash Freeze, so that's another dot tick on that. And then these are the two parts that really make this an amazing weapon. Firstly, 4,170 Frostburn damage to Trozan Skyshard, and 100% lightning damage converted to cold damage. Now, I mean, that doesn't sound amazing. What does it actually mean? So let's turn that aura off for starters. This is Trozan Skyshard with the old weapon on. And this is a double cold affix weapon. This is Glacial of Frostbite. That's some really nice cold bonuses. So 2,480, so 2,400 to 2,480. We chuck this on. We almost double the damage. So we're definitely swapping that in. This does mean we will be losing the cold proc on this, and other than that it's more or less same. So let's get our frost, or our cold stone, back, keep the add-on, chuck that on there, put it back here. There we go. Trozan Skyshard now doing 5,000. I did also check what it would do to Electra's Flash Freeze. It's pretty much same. The plus 2 to the skill didn't appear to make a massive difference to it actually, which was surprising. I thought it would. Much for muchness really. Right, let's do some quest turn-ins here. As long as we're in town we may as well do it. So Darius is no more, didn't have Elsa, I'll talk to Barnabas. There's 25. I'm going to max out Trozan Skyshard, and I'm going to continue putting 1 point into Nightblade just until we get to Night's Chill here. I definitely think that's worth doing. Physique, we'll keep going for our points there. The other thing I did do between episodes is I took that extra point out of Absolute Zero, so this is just a 1-pointer at the moment. Although having said that, we should maybe consider putting more in. That's a pretty boosted skill there. But no, I think Frozen Core is the way to go. Right, what else we got? Speak to Barnabas, return to Quaid. Okay, so we're going back to the old Arcovia camp as well. And actually we didn't need to talk to him at all. So let's go turn in these books to What's-Her-Face and tell Quaid that we killed Moneybags and such. Destroyed the forges, yep, did all that. Found texts you may be interested in. There we go. Right, so now we have to head to Twin Falls. Now there's something very important in Twin Falls. If you'll recall, this weapon here converts all of our lightning damage to cold. So our Trozan Skyshard is now 100% cold damage, well, and Frostburn I guess, but Frostburn is cold damage anyway. Which means if we run into something that is highly resistant to cold, we're going to have a bad time. Fortunately, I don't think any of this stuff is actually 100% resistant to cold, it's just going to be a little bit resistant to cold. Okay, these guys in their little bone cages can be quite frustrating. I think we can kill these relatively easily. There we go. So we got Omen, which is not ideal. And I saw some glacial items there as well. So that's going to be cold stuff. Glacial is 12%. Definitely not worth using that. That is a decent downgrade in armor as well, so no thank you. Omen being a one-handed weapon, not really interested in that. I don't think any of this is going to be worth using, though some of it maybe. This honestly is probably a slight upgrade. It's not worth going out of my way to go and pull the component off of the other one though. Okay. So we have two things we need to do here. First one, talk to him. Pick up his quest. Actually three things, because we have to check if the podium's here. It's not, so we'll poke our head up the top of here. Nope, podium's not there either, which means it's going to be sort of over here. So we'll go get that to start the quest for collecting the writings inside of the Undercity. This one here, the Forgotten Passage. Alright. This is probably the most important shrine in the game, as far as we need to be concerned. Assuming we can kill everything here. This will actually give us the proc on... What is that skill called? The proc for the Elemental Storm. There we go. Words are hard while you're trying to fight things. And that proc is really, really good. Not just because of damage, but it also comes with resistance shred of the elemental variety, which we definitely want. So we put that on the Sky Shard, and now you'll start seeing a little blue swirly pool opening up underneath things we attack. This one here. Anything standing in that, this Frost Revenant here, is basically immune to cold. But not when we have that little swirly pool underneath him, he isn't. Okay, heading into the Undercity. I do now have a Soul Shard as well, so I'll go ahead and chuck that on the ring. I'm going to keep my eyes open for another one. I will probably miss it when it drops, but I will try. So we do very little damage to this guy. Because he is a Frost Revenant, I believe he has 85% base resistance to cold, and then he was also frozen, which gives him an aura that gives him another 15%. So ordinarily he would be completely immune to cold damage, but because we had the flash freeze with the minus 15% from this, and we had minus 10% on Veil of Shadow, and then we also had minus, I think, 12% at level 1 on that. It works out quite nicely. We're able to make him no longer immune. Let's get a little bit more defense here, and we will continue on. Now, you do want to keep them in these little, in the swirly as much as possible, because they will be taking damage from it as well. But as soon as they walk out of it, the resistance shredding stops. So that's another pretty good reason to keep him in there. At least as much as you can. This is probably the hardest part of the game for a cold arcanist. Especially if you've converted all your lightning damage to cold as well. What have we got here? Okay. So they just blocked it off. This guy might have another bludgeon. We did get a chilled spectral bludgeon drop. The difference in damage is actually pretty minimal. I believe the chilled there will give us a couple extra percentages, and that 4 flat cold damage. So definitely not worth swapping components out for. Right. So we push all the buttons, and you'll notice he is dying a lot faster than the ones outside before. Enchanters of Alacrity, that could be better. That's at least a rare prefix. What does it do? Elemental Seal, okay. That one is definitely worth swapping out. The Alacrity is neither here nor there. But that Elemental Seal proc is really good. You're going to see that procking fairly regularly. So let's go ahead and keep our add-on. There we go. And let's head back in. Don't think we can get the really good damage procs at this level. I'm pretty sure they start at 35. And I think possibly Fallen Skies on weapons doesn't actually come with a proc. But that's fine. Let's see if we can't round these guys up. So I dropped a portal here. And I'm heading outside to pick up this quest and also get the Rift Gate. So this way, once we are finished on the 3rd floor of this place, we can simply portal to the Broken Hills. And it'll just save us a little bit of a run. And speaking of running, Spectral Battle Axe, I don't care. And realistically, it would have to be a pretty amazing... So this guy's... That's the Elemental Seal proc. And they're dying much faster now. You can get a few pieces of gear with Elemental Seal on them, that's not a bad idea. It's just missing one more of those pages. There's our last one right there. Okay. Should be able to actually just stand here and have this proc show up. Yep, there it is. Like I said, once you start getting procs on your gear, Arcanist starts getting a little bit silly for damage. I remember last time I did a Cold Arcanist, it was Pure Arcanist in Season 5, and it literally killed Lucius. Is it Lucius? The Aether guy in Fort Icon. It literally killed him in 3 casts of Trozan Skyshard. With all these procs and things that go off as well. It's silly how much damage it does. As you can see there. Okay, Adept Circlet. Band of Black Ice. That is not as good as it seems like it might be. So, a little bit of cold damage. But other than that, no thank you. Adept Circlet also is probably a no thank you. We'll just pick all this up and be on our way. So we have 2 named guys in here that we're going to kill. These ones, this is actually more than 2. We can turn the loot off and we'll hit the I can't die button. Adept's Boots, I think that's most of the set we now have. They're actually not awful, because when you craft them you get one random affix on them as well. I believe it's limited to one. So it could be alright. This is definitely an upgrade in terms of armor. In terms of stats in general, this is an upgrade. +2 to Knight's Chill will be very nice once we get to it, because we'll just put 1 point in there and it'll immediately be level 6. I might actually spend the next 2 levels getting that, if I remember. Having that extra damage would be quite nice. There we go. Wanderers of Binding. Double pet affixes. Can never get that when I'm actually playing a pet class, and as soon as I'm not, they're everywhere. While I was grinding for gear on the Nightblade, sorry, the Dervish, I actually got a double rare, what are they called, the Bloodsworn Codexes. It was like a Wraithbound of Binding or something like that. It's pretty good. Then he died, so, you know, don't care anymore, but it was a nice drop. Okay, so Rowena Kerr here. We're just gonna more or less get in her face and push the I can't die button. There we go, and she's dead. Now if we just continue to stand here, look at all this stuff on the floor. It's getting silly. And that's only one proc. You can get enchanters on a whole bunch of different things. Okay, treasure trove. We do have dynamite, so I will be opening it. We should get a blueprint. No blueprint. Okay. That's fine. So that's the first time I've had to use a healing potion for a little while. We did get a Bounty Hunter's Girdle, which is not awful, but also not amazing. Let's go down. And just while I'm thinking about it, 3 points in Nightblade. The next 3 points are going to get us 2 in the bar and 1 in Night's Chill, and then I think we'll get 4 or 5 in Shadow Dance, and that'll probably be us done. Never mind. Let's go ahead and put Shadow Strike there, put Rift Tear there, and where do we put that one? I'm running out of buttons. Can already hear the complaints from the comments section. Too many buttons on this class. Yes, if you're going to play an Arcanist especially, you will have a lot of buttons. It's probably a good idea to not stand in that. Do want to keep your eye out. So he has that, he will shoot a purple dart at you, and if it hits, it does a lot of damage. So as soon as he stops, there you go, that dart. As soon as he stops moving to cast something, make sure you're not where you were a second ago. Or make sure you're running sort of sideways to him. So he's dead, which is good. Two-handed sword. Not really something I'm interested in. But this shrine is definitely something I'm interested in. Okay, those gloves have a proc on them, lightning sphere proc. Ellie resist. we don't do a ton of... What is our lightning increase? Lightning damage 166. So actually fire is better for us than lightning. But neither of them are particularly amazing. That's fine. For our devotion point, we will continue on and finish the Rowan's Crown. And then we'll be looking at maybe heading up here to Amatok, the Spirit of Winter. Or potentially down here. The Giant's Blood proc is definitely something you want to look at. Phoenix is also good for the damage absorption. Eventually we're going to want to get Hand of Altos for the elemental resistance. It stacks with pretty much everything. And maybe Leviathan as well, actually. That Whirlpool proc is pretty juicy. But that's in the future. Let's go ahead and get out of here. We have another shrine coming up. And you'll note that we're doing a lot of damage now. If we could get the, I think it's Glacier is the first cold relic. I think I would prefer that instead of the Bone Talisman. So we're more or less heading east at this point. You will see on your map when we get there, you'll see like a square area coming in from the bottom here. We want to go there and kill the bird lady who's there, because we have a quest for that. Oh, here we go. You see the square on the map though. And there she goes. And one more devotion shrine just here. So this will finish off the Rowan's Crown for us. Another good one actually might be the Empty Throne. Good for resistances, stun, Aether, and Chaos. Could also start working towards, what's it called, the Tower? Solemn Watcher. Another good defensive cluster. Potentially also the Dryad for the heal proc. All-Karma's Scale's probably not amazing for this build. Actually starting to think I might not want Shadow Strike, which I know is blasphemy, but maybe. Okay, Maven's Lens, that's a pretty good one. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's the Amulet. Yeah, +2 to Maven's Sphere is pretty good, especially considering the +1 Arcanist Amulet, the MI, comes with Devastation Vitality conversion, which is... it's okay. This is not a Devastation build per se, but if we use that amulet, we pretty much can't use Devastation, and it is a fun spell. Turin's Step could be worth keeping. No, it's literally just armor. Oh, I also noticed too late that the boots that I was going to use, that I had put aside specifically to use, I sold them. So unfortunately, we won't be using those. Let's eat that one. Let's see if we can craft that Maven's Lens. Where are we? We can craft 3 of them. This one, pretty much what you get is what you get. This one, there is a little bit of variance, but it's more or less just whatever you get. So let's chuck that on. We would be losing a little bit of armor, health, physique, and elemental resist, which actually we don't care about the elemental resist. This would be really nice for a soldier. I've just noticed it has +5 to force wave. I'm not going to bother taking that wardstone off of it because we don't need the Ellie resist actually. We are well over cap, so I'm just going to leave it for now. So another +2 to Maven Sphere takes us to 8, which is 17% damage absorption. This is very nice. It more or less means you can divide your health by 0.8, and it basically means I effectively have like 3,200, 3,300 effective hit points. There we go, get some XP from him in exchange for a dynamite. And now what are we doing? We're actually going to go back to Broken Hills and turn that quest in. And we're going to ignore the Steps of Torment for right now. So we'll talk to Minerva here, get our additional stat point, and we continue to dump it into Physique. I think we'll get to maybe 40 on Physique, and then start putting it into Spirit. And we may need some Cunning as well, but we'll see about that. There's rank 2 of Elemental Storm. Let's just push the everybody stop button. Okay, there's our dynamite back. No. No. There's level 28, and you know what that means. Actually nothing, because we took Shadow Strike. You know what? I don't need Shadow Strike. I will take it later. For right now, I want the other skill, whatever that was called. Want my skill point back. Want Night's Chill, there we go. Alright, so straight up to... I thought it was going to be more than that. Where are we? +3 to Night's Chill from that. And I thought I had another item. Maybe it was on the amulet. Nope. Can't remember. I thought I had another item for Night's Chill, but this is still pretty good. -12% cold res, and it makes the aura do even more cold damage. It does unfortunately mean we have to be relatively close in order to apply it, but that's fine. I mean, let's just see how much. This is all just damage being applied from Night's Chill. So we do a little bit of damage right now. There we go. Unfortunately didn't get the recipe, but that's fine. More physique. Yep. Alright, so we're starting to come online now. We've got a couple of procs. We've got enough skill points that we have all of the major skills we're going to use. Trozan's is getting better. We will need to go kill Ruler Arathis at some point for his tome. That will give us instead of the spread being like this, it'll instead be more like this, which will definitely help. Let's just pick up the quest. How can I help? And Colin wants us to go find his dead sister. I mean, spoilers. Right, I'm actually going to cut the video out here. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.